Sparks is a Missouri lawyer in this video, my brothers and sisters, and Paige Sparks is going to talk about the Marcellus Williams case here too, my brothers and sisters. And here comes the video coming up really, really soon here, my brothers and sisters.
Marcellus Williams was executed in Missouri last week. Here are the legal reasons Marcellus Williams was executed in Missouri last week. My name is Paige Sparks. I'm a lawyer in Missouri, and this case made national headlines last week because right before the execution was scheduled, we had a lot of last-minute involvement, including from the victim's family and the prosecutor's office trying to stop the execution. Here's the step-by-step breakdown of what happened and some things you may not have heard on the news. Marcellus was on death row because he was convicted of killing a news reporter, Felicia Gale, in 2001 during an attempted burglary gone wrong. During the trial, prosecutors say that Marcellus broke into her home and noticed the shower was running and that she was in the shower. He grabbed a butcher knife, and when she came down to investigate the break-in, he stabbed her 43 times. Her purse and her husband's laptop were also stolen after the murder. The victim's purse was later found in Marcellus's vehicle. A witness came forward saying he tried to sell the laptop to them that matched the same laptop that was taken from the house. And in addition to that, there are two different witnesses, Marcellus's girlfriend and his cellmate, who say that he confessed the crime to both of them. Following a jury trial in 2001, Marcellus was convicted of multiple crimes, including first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to death. Over the past 23 years, multiple courts, including federal courts, state courts, the appeals court, and the Missouri Supreme Court, have rejected Williams' arguments of actual innocence because he said there were certain violations and errors at trial, which made an unfair trial. As this execution was moving forward, recently the St. Louis County Circuit Attorney's Office, which was the prosecutor's office for the trial in 2001, has filed several pleadings with the court, making a lot of concessions and alleging a variety of facts to support that this execution should be stayed. The prosecutor claimed that Williams may actually be innocent. There may have been contaminated evidence that was used at trial to convict him, and one of the prosecutor's statements from the trial show that someone was struck for the jury because of their race, which is not allowed. That prosecutor said they struck that juror because they looked like Williams. Part of the reason this case was so controversial is that as the execution approached, not only the victim's family said do not execute him, but also the prosecutor to file all these documents and try to stay the execution. That is very unusual. Additional DNA testing showed that the DNA that was found on the knife belonged to the assistant prosecuting attorney and another person, member of law enforcement, that mishandled the knife prior to trial. I think that if there had been like a third-party DNA that could have possibly pointed to a different person doing the crime, he may have had more of a legal ground to stand on, but because it was alleged that the killer wore gloves at the time of the crime and the only other DNA evidence was from people participating in the investigation and the trial, it doesn't point to anyone else. The court found that because it did not point to any alternative suspect, that was not enough. The other grounds that the prosecutor and Williams' lawyers tried to use to get the execution stayed was to say that during trial, one of the prosecutors involved admitted to striking someone from the jury because of his race. After reviewing the entire record, Missouri Supreme Court said he didn't strike him because of his race, he just struck him because he looked exactly like Williams. I don't know how much I believe that analysis because there's a reason they look alike, and it's probably because of their race. We cannot strike people from the jury just because of their race or protected class. So if it was found that he was struck from the jury because he was black, then it could be grounds to stay the execution or have a new trial because he did not get a fair trial. This is called a Batson violation. You cannot strike people from the jury because of their race. Ultimately, after decades of this litigation, the Missouri Supreme Court refused to stay the execution, and the governor also refused to get involved, so the execution went forward last week where he was executed by lethal injection. In support of its finding, the Missouri Supreme Court also says there is a lot of evidence that points against Marcellus that was found after the crime in his car, the corroborating witness testimony that he confessed, and also a witness testimony that he tried to sell the laptop. Marcellus's girlfriend at the time also testified that she saw him throw away bloody clothes that she thought was from the murder, and that he was wearing a jacket the day of the crime when it was really hot, and she thought that was weird, and she thinks he was doing that to cover up bloody clothes. In conclusion, the Missouri Supreme Court said despite almost 25 years of litigation through state and federal courts, there was nothing nothing to show actual innocence or error at trial that would have warranted a new trial. These situations are always so hard to navigate because with our justice system, and when you're imposing a sentence like the death penalty, you're supposed to be 100% sure that that person did the crime. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, or let me know if there's any other information you want to know, because this is just a summary. There was a lot going on. I'm also going to link the full Missouri Supreme Court decision in my Instagram story highlights if you want to read the decision for yourself. What are the legal reasons Marcellus Williams was executed in Missouri?
Also, my brothers and sisters, I'm going to put down links to Paige Sparks's, or actually, no, Mrs. Paige Sparks's links to her website and links to her Instagram, TikTok, and other social media platforms too, my brothers and sisters. And if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and other social media platforms too, my brothers and sisters.